Good evening, everyone. I have the distinct pleasure of presenting a very special proclamation to Trina. Trina Taylor is an icon in the music hip-hop industry and has selflessly and compassionately given back to the community. Trina has created Diamond Doll Foundation, which, since 2006, has given girls a safe haven to deal with the struggles, face teenage pregnancy, drug, and of course, education. On behalf of all of our citizens of the city of Miami, we take great pleasure in honoring Trina Taylor and proclaiming today, Trina Day, in the city of Miami.
Welcome to a brand new edition of Build. We have a very special guest. As you just saw in the clip, Trina is here.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm well. You have a busy top of the year where we have a lot to cover in this little chat here at Build today. We just saw a little bit of it. When did that happen? Trina Day.
Trina Day happened a couple months back. It was in May, and they gave me my own day, so I got to prepare for next year to see what I want to do. It's also, actually my choice to do something that's giving back to the community, giving back to like the youth, the younger generation, the girls that I do for my foundation and stuff like that. So I'm excited about it. I'm still like in awe. I can't believe it.
Yeah, and I want to talk about, Trina Day in Miami and just loving hip hop Miami. What's so cool about this is when I heard you were on the show, this isn't just like an artist, a musician hopping on a reality show. Miami to me, when I think of Trina, it's a fabric of your being. You know, from the first time we heard you on a track with Trick Daddy back in the day, to now, you're inseparable. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and so,
thank you.
I guess just off the top, what does Miami mean to you?
Oh, wow, everything. It's my home. I was born and raised there. It's a beautiful city. A lot of people come to Miami and they think it's just a beach or a South Beach. It's so much more than that. It's so much culture. It's so much stuff you can learn from it. It's just a beautiful place to be. Miami to me is like the city, the inner city, like Liberty City, Overtown, Little Haiti, like Little Havana, Carol City, those kind of places. And South Beach is just a place you go to explore and to go to the beach and, have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned all these different neighborhoods in Miami. Trick does a great job. I got to watch the screener for the pilot that does air on January 1st on VH1. And he opens the pilot, the premiere episode, I should say, kind of giving a lay of the land of Miami, all the different neighborhoods. And it is such an eclectic city. I was curious to just put you on the spot here. If you could sum up Miami, your hometown, in one word, what do you think that one word would be for Miami?
Oh, gosh. I would just say it would be epic, It's a place that everybody wants to come to visit. If you're not from there, it's one of those cities that you want to go to. The nightlife is amazing. The culture is amazing. It's expensive, the living costs, but, it's just a beautiful place, and we have so much to give, and I think people just love it. Everybody go there, they like to come back.
Yeah, it's a great time. One of my favorites, I gotta say. Now, talking about this show and you just as a fan of yours and a fan of your career, something I've always really respected about you, Trina, is you've always sort of had this, keep it moving mentality, right? You've never really been somebody to hop in beef or to cause trouble. You've always been focused on your career and your craft and your work, and that's something I've always appreciated about you. So when I heard you were getting into the reality television game, these shows, they are prone to drama, and you are somebody who I have felt like has always been above the drama. Was there any hesitation when debating getting involved with Love and Hip Hop?
Of course. It was a lot of hesitation because I watched the show previous and I have my likes and dislikes for it. I'm just all about having fun, and the show is mostly drama. People like drama. It's entertaining, but it's a lot of drama. My reserves and my don'ts is the beyond disrespect, the throwing of the drinks, the spitting, the hitting. I don't think that's the part that I don't like. I don't want to be involved in that part. You're not going to spit on me. Let's be very clear. You're not going to throw a drink on me. I just feel like that's disrespectful. We're not kids, we're adults. We can talk, we can agree to disagree, And I just think when it happens, I think some people get out of character and it goes so crazy, and before you know, you react, So my hesitation was one of those things. I put myself in the show for a bigger platform. I have a record label, Rockstar Music Group. I have artists I sign. I have so much different stuff that's going on. I wanted to use that platform to enhance that. I'm already an established artist. I didn't get on the show to promote music or just to become to make myself known. I'm already known. My album drops February 23rd, so therefore it is a platform for the music to be shown. The show's on every Monday, but it's mostly what you bring to the table. I'm a business person, a businesswoman. I have a brand. I built the brand, and I'm not gonna let nothing tear that brand down. I'm just trying to enhance that brand and make it bigger. That's what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely. And I do want to say, for anyone who has not seen the premiere, of course, it doesn't drop until January 1st, you do not do any of those things. One of the biggest takeaways from the first episode, I was like, Trina is staying calm amidst all this craziness going down in Miami in this episode, so hats off to you for that. But I do have to talk about the drama, and I'm going to start with this cousin of yours. Oh, gosh. Bobbi Lights, what is going on? For anyone who's not familiar, Tell us about Bobbi first.
Bobbi Lights, you know, he's a character. You know, he's a character. He is my cousin. He's on my father's side. I'm not really close to that side of the family. So I met him estranged a couple years ago. He was at my show like a fan. And the people I'm around, they wouldn't let him get over to the section, and he just pitched a fit. And from there on, that's how we became to be close, because he would always show up at the shows. He would always come to support me, and I appreciate it. But every time I saw him, it was always in like a setting of he's like drinking or belligerent or acting crazy. I'm working, so I'm here chilling, and you're just like loud, going crazy. You got to get thrown out by security. So I've never saw him in like a different light. It wasn't until after, you know, we had a conversation, we started doing the show, and I was like, yo, you know, you can't come around me if you're going to act like that. I don't mind you being around, and I know, you know, you're ranting and raving because you want me to support you, but you got to understand I worked so hard to get to this place, and people around me don't come around acting like that, so I can't allow you to do that either. And it's like a, you know, it's a tug of war. He's fighting for my attention, fighting for me to validate him, fighting for me for this and that. I went to watch him perform. He does make incredible music. He's talented. He just has to learn his place, his marker. Simmer down a little bit. This is real world. This is like when, you know, you playing at home and you want to be an artist and you start doing music. When you tap into the real world and you're in places and it's in public settings and people are around, you have to be presentable. You have to learn how to respect the situation, because you don't want to have I don't like the drama. So, you know, I've thrown him out a couple times at some of my parties because I don't want you all over the place. And, you know, through the show, you'll see that. We go at it. Like, I have to, like, because you're like an outsider family member and you trying to be on the inside, and that's fine, but that's the side of the family that I don't even, like, talk to. So now that I am embracing you, I think that you should come around, like, trying to learn something. Like, you want to be in this business, like, how to do it and how to make yourself, like, make a mark and make people like you. You don't want to be, oh, the loudmouth person that's keep getting thrown off every set, you know? Right. So that's kind of how it is.
You know, I will say this about Bobbi, that just watching the premiere episode, I do feel like all the craziness and whatever you want to call Bobbi's behavior, it comes from a place of love. I think. And I think he must just look up to you like nobody else, because he is an aspiring musician.
He does. He's real passionate about it, and this is why we had to have a sit down, because when you see it, it comes off as very like this extra crazy character, but I know, like, behind the scenes, we'll talk one-on-one, he's very passionate. He feels like, I know that I'm really your real cousin. I want to be around you. I respect you. I adore you. I do my shows, and I do you in my music. I'm doing music. I watched him do his own videos, be creative, like you know, do his own production, do his own directing for stuff. So he's super talented. He just have to learn how to be professional. You know, he have to learn how to take that talent and make it a professional setting. And then that's how me and him, you know, could kind of click. But it's all love. It's all out of passion, but it's still very belligerent.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's very
Still
wild.
Bobbi, right, at the end of the day?
Yes.
Another storyline that I want to talk about is Pleasure P. Now, I'm a big Pretty Ricky fan from back in the day. I don't know if we have any Pretty Ricky fans in the house. But Pleasure P's on this season of Love and Hip Hop, of course, and he's in this weird spot where, a difficult spot, I should say, where he's trying to get the band back together, the group back together, but then his love interest, his girlfriend, is kind of getting in the way of that, because maybe she thinks he should be solo, she's got some other ideas about the group and him and what should be done. I was curious to ask you, though, because you've had such a long and successful career in music, how hard is it to separate, you know, personal struggles or personal life stuff with your career?
It's just how you deal with it, you know, because for me, I don't really like to talk about that stuff, you know. If you see me around somebody, people just start speculating or assume, and then I'm in this relationship, or if I'm in a relationship, you can see it, but I'm not going to just be running around posting a poster saying, oh, this is my relationship, hey, guys. No, so it's one of them things, just the privacy of that, because people are opinionated. They want to say this, they say that, they start digging up stuff. Oh, it's the story, he was with this chick 20 years ago, and it just starts making this big old thing, and it becomes a headache, you know? Yeah. It becomes one of them things to where how much of your life do you want to keep personal private, and how much of it do you want to be public. It's nothing wrong with, like, showing off your significant other or making people know that your love is there or it's real or whatever. That's life, that's fine. But you got to be able to understand that that comes with the territory of everybody's opinions, all of he say, she say, they say, and there got to be a connection between you and the person that you're with to know how to deal with that. If you're not ready for that, this social lifestyle that's out here, I don't think you should, like, expose any of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said on that, for sure. You know, you talk about having hesitation, but also, you know, becoming a part of the show. What would you say is your most unexpected takeaway from being a part of Love and Hip Hop Miami?
What do you mean by unexpected?
Something you didn't expect to, an experience you didn't expect to have, or just maybe a takeaway from the experience of being on a show like this that maybe you didn't expect?
I didn't really have no bad experience yet.
Yeah?
Let's just say yet. But I think I would say it's different. It's totally different than being an artist and just being, you know, doing music and being in control and having you know, being in control of everything. You have to like clock in. It's like a 9-to-5 job. Like you have to clock in and do what you got to do on their time. I'm just used to doing my way, everything. So that would have been like the only little thing I was a little annoyed about, because sometimes I was like, I don't feel like doing this today. I want to do it on my day. I'm working all weekend. I don't want, and it just kind of, you know, I had to like get on a good rhythm with the network in order to make it work for me. Other than that, I mean, I just filmed myself, my friends having fun, my business, my artists, performing, me and Trick, obviously, like Trick is like one of my great friends. I came into this industry with Trick, and then there's this soft spot because Trick is still legally married to my cousin, and then we, you know, that's a whole nother situation. So it's like, here's my family, but here's my guy I work with, my colleague, my friend, my this, and Trick is a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? And a lot to deal with it, but I could deal with him. I've been dealing with him for so long, and you know, he's a great guy. He's just a lot to deal with, and so for me, you know, I just make the best of it, you know?
Yeah. You know, there's all these characters that, you know, between Bobbi and Trick, there's all this kind of craziness going on this season, but you seem to be this like calm within the storm. You're this glue that holds it all together. It's very fun to watch.
That gets a little difficult sometimes because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be calm. Okay, do I take Trick's side? No, Trick is calling my phone, beefing at me. Oh, you're taking hers. I am taking both sides. I'm just trying to get to the middle of it. Okay, what do you want? I started like doubting my cousin. Do you want to do this? Do you want to be with Trick? Do you want doubting Trick? I didn't know if both of them was like playing a game with me. Are y'all gonna get separated? Are you gonna get divorced? Are you gonna stay together? Because it was like, I don't want to be with her. I don't want to be with him. And then all of a sudden it was like, I still love her. I was like, well, what's going on? I'm in the middle, like I'm playing mediator, like pulling them both apart. And then I got Bobby. It's my family. It's my cousin. He's fighting for attention. Everybody's fighting for attention. Me, I'm just chill. I'm working.
Seriously?
I'm here. I'm there. I'm just trying to make everybody happy, you know? So that's kind of how it plays out.
It's amazing you pull it off. Yeah. You know, speaking of Trick, he's a great bridge between what you're doing with Love and Hip Hop this season and then what you're doing musically. You have a very busy top of 2018 coming up. I want to talk about the album The One, dropping February 23rd, but I also want to talk about a song that I'm just a huge fan of right now that you have with Trick off your joint project that's coming out in the next year, Paradise. Okay. I think Paradise, anybody hear Paradise in here? Anybody know Paradise, new single with Trick? Yes, right? I'm just gonna put this out into the world. I'll look right here when I say this. Miami International Airport, you need to be playing Paradise for every single person that comes into town. I mean, this just puts you in a Miami mood. It's an anthem. And you know what's cool too about Miami is, and I'm not gonna dog any other towns or cities or regions, but you guys really support Miami music. The radio stations down there, the DJs down there, and this is just a song that I can hear ringing out of every car in Miami, playing in every club in Miami. Talk about how Paradise came to be. Paradise
was one of those records. I was the first one to hear the record. It was Mike Bless on the record. I mean, Mike Smith, I'm sorry, on the record. Ted called me from some slide. He was like, hey, I got this new record for the album. I need you to come record your verse now. I was like, okay, who's on the record? He was like, it's going to be you, Mike Smith, and Trick. I was like, well, did they record already? He was like, no, not yet. You first. So I just went in first. And then when I went in first, after I heard it, I didn't hear it until it was fully complete. And then I was like, you know, the vibe of it was just very Miami. It was very beachy. It was very melodic. It just gave us a different sound than like a Nam record or me and Trick record that was more hardcore. It was more radio friendly. And I just like that because the new project is growth. It's different. It's not the same music or the same sound that people expected from me and Trick. It's a whole different phase. And to do that record, it was a little bit out of our comfort zone because it's a more softer record. And then you have like people that's, oh, we want you to do hard. So we had to kind of balance that out. And it worked out. You know, it's doing good on radio. It's getting a lot of support. People loving the record. We're going to shoot the video soon. I'm excited about it.
Really? There's going to be a video?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, you know, it's just it's a feel good. You know, it's a feel good because especially for me and Trick, we haven't recorded a record in over like 10 years.
Wow.
You know,
you show that chemistry.
Yeah, because I see him all the time. We don't hang out. Like, I'm a little bit more consistent with putting out records than Trick has been, so I'm in charge. I'm like the boss of him right now.
Yeah.
He got to follow my lead. I know what to say, what not to say. Unlike him, he don't. So I got to kind of like watch him and make sure he's censored and, you know. So, you know, I'm just trying to make sure we have, and the TNT project, which is Trick and Trina, it comes out also next year, which I'm excited about it, and the Paradise record is on that. So we just working.
That's amazing. You are working because that would be enough for most artists. You also have your next solo album coming out.
Solo album.
February 23rd.
Yes.
The One.
Yes.
Will be available everywhere. And you've got the lead single already out with K. Michelle.
Yes, K. Michelle, my sister, I love her. We redid the Patti LaBelle sample. Somebody Loves You, Baby. The song is called If It Ain't Me. And I'm just excited. It's my second single. The first single was with Tory Lanez, the Damn record, and now the K Michelle record. And I have Davies on the album. I have 2 Chainz on the album. I have Miss Kelly Price on the album. I have Rico Love on the album. I have Lil Wayne on the album. The album is just, I have a few more surprises on the album. I'm just excited, you know. It's just about growth. It's about being able to put out a 6th album, which is very, very a blessing, you know, especially right now in this time with music and the decline and stuff like that. And it's independent. This is my first solo independent record since I was off Slip and Slide. So I'm committed and I'm fully excited about that. I did it on my own. I'm excited. I got all the artists that I wanted to get on my album and have a great time.
Another artist that's amazing. Another artist that I want to ask you about, and again, getting back to how just Miami is just a fabric of your being, right? You keep things Miami, and I love that, is DJ Khaled. Yes. You got him on the intro to this album.
Yes, DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled, that's like my family. I've been rocking with Khaled since the beginning, since Khaled's been in Miami. He's always supported me. I've always supported him. And I just hit him up like, yo, I need you to do the intro to the album. And he was like, when you need it done? I was like, right now. You know, Khaled is a busy man. You got to catch Khaled like right then. So he did it for me. I'm so grateful and so humble for that. I'm excited. I can't wait for the world and the fans to hear the album and see the videos and the visuals and the whole documentary and the whole lead up until the one. And it just means a lot. You know, I'm excited. February 23rd, the one, finally.
That's so exciting. I wanted to just take it back for a second, just getting back to Miami for a second and DJ Khaled. Do you remember but the first time ever that you met Khaled was at the radio station?
Yes, at the radio station.
Do you remember the actual time, the moment that you met Khaled for the first time?
I remember just going to the radio station. It was one of the things I had on a bandana. I had on like some tights and some sneakers. They was like, we have to get to this radio station. This record, man, is the biggest record in the country. You gotta go meet DJ Khaled. He's gonna big it up so big. And I remember going there, and Khaled, he has this big voice and he's real extra and he's real excited and he starts moving around and doing his thing. And it was just like, it was love, you know, from day one. And from day one, he's always been the same, you know. Every time I see him, every time I work with him, it's always the same love. I'm just excited for him to be from Miami, you know, from the growth he's went to where he's at right now with his project, his album, his last album. And he's turned into this multi-mogul, this voice of person that's like inspirational and putting on for IC. That's amazing.
It's amazing what he's been able to do, for sure. You know, you talk about Miami, you talk about having Trina Day. I thought this would be a fun question for somebody who is, I mean, the queen of Miami in my eyes, right? I can't think of anybody else for that honor. There's so many artists that come to your city and they love your city and they show out for your city. If there's somebody who isn't from Miami in the world of hip hop, in the world of music, that you could give the key to the city to, as just like a thank you for, you think they deserve that, who do you think that would be?
I mean, it would be Beyonce to me because I'm just saying, like, this is the queen. What do you mean? Like, here's the key to the city, to the whole world. Like, this would be here's my key, here's my Trina Day. Like, I'll give it all up to be. Like, that's my favorite artist, so I would definitely say that.
Everybody loves Beyonce, right? But why do you love Beyonce so much?
I mean, you know what? She's very inspirational. I remember when I first started out and I came out, I remember me and Trick was on this tour, and Beyonce was on a tour with Destiny Child, and they were opening up before us, and we were standing in the back, and I'm just watching them, but they weren't like Beyonce and Kelly. It was just like Destiny Child. It was just like a regular, beautiful girl group. They was dancing, they was doing their thing, and I loved them. And then to just watch her go from that to a solo artist and this mainstream and just continue to grow and to lead the label and to do her own thing, manage herself, put out her own album, her own tour, skip the whole radio market and go straight to tour for the fans, put on a 2-hour show. Unbelievable. Have a kid come back, do a whole nother tour with your husband, have 2 kids come back and just like stunt, it's like, what more could you ask for? Like, it's Beyonce. Yeah, no, she's just one of those motivational forces. She's always represent for the women, and I love that she's authentic and her story. She's very private and it's very silent. But if you're a real woman, or if you're a fan of just music and the culture, and you see through everything. Like, she puts her story through the music. She puts it through dialogue for us to see it through the tour, through the concerts, just the way everything is set up. And just as an artist and a person that loves the music and the craft and what she does, it's like, obsessed. I'm like, you know?
Absolutely amazing. Now, this does come out January 1st,
yes.
Top of the year on VH1.
Yes.
Millions of people are going to watch this that Monday night. What do you have to say to them in closing here? We got some fan questions we'll get to, but in closing here, what's one thing that you really want people to look out for this season on Love and Hip Hop?
You know what? It's Miami. I haven't seen much of the show. I honestly don't even know everybody that's on the cast.
Does that make you nervous?
No, it doesn't. I'm excited. I'm super excited because I know from some of the stuff. I just know from what I filmed. I know what I filmed was just interesting. It's entertaining. It's my life. It's my story. If you know me, if you've been a fan of mine, if you follow me, it's not It's not too different than what you've already seen of me. You know, you just get to see it opposed to seeing me on the stage performing or seeing me like on a talk show or just a CD. So you get to see that side of it. For Miami, it's a beautiful city. We have a beautiful cast. It's very over the top. Everybody's gonna do their thing. It's a lot of new faces. So I would just say to the people that don't know the faces, just pay attention to the show. Get familiar with the faces. There's some talent on there. There's some fun on there. It's wilding out on there. And it's Miami, so we're going to bring it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, are there any fan questions in the house today? Where's our first one going to come from? Right here up front.
Hi.
Hey, Trina, how you
Hi,
doing?
how are you?
I am just so proud of you as an artist, as a young person that used to watch you go from the days of you don't know there, to see you it just evolve into just this great, beautiful butterfly, as a businesswoman, as a charitable donor for organizations, for young girls, just giving back. It's such an inspirational feeling to see artists actually give back to the community, something that there's so little of. And I wanted to ask you, basically, what is it that you haven't done yet that you feel like you definitely want to do, in the future?
I would just say when it comes to like my musical career, I think my biggest goal this time with the album is just actually touring. I perform all over the world, all over the country, all out the states. But to actually capture a tour that's mine and the fans get to really see what I do, opposed to maybe in a club or maybe here or there, I think that's like my biggest thing that I want to accomplish as far as the music part of it. Other than that, it's just continue to build in my brand, be successful. I'm just praying for Rockstar Music Group, which is my label, the artist that I have signed and joined forces with, to be amazing and just to come into this industry and just come knock it out, do their thing. They're focused, they're driven. This platform, this Love and Hip Hop Miami, with me being involved, is going to help give them that light, that shine in this industry that's dark, and give them an open space to do their thing. And that's just all I hope for.
That's awesome. Thanks for the question. Do we have another question from the crowd? Up here.
Hi.
Hi. Now, as she said, I followed you from Trick Daddy days. So my question to you is, Love and Hip Hop Miami, how is that going to differ from New York and Hollywood? Because I love them, and I want to know how that's going to differ.
Okay. New York and Hollywood. Let's see. How would it different? I don't, because New York and the Hollywood show had a lot of people that were celebrities, or people that known faces already. New York had mostly faces that was known. I think Miami is, everybody knows Trick, everybody knows me. You have Amara, you have Bobbi, you have, I don't know how many people know Gunplay, or you have DJ Michelle Pooch. You have certain people that people may not know of that much, but probably a little bit. But I guarantee you, when you see these people and they light up this TV, you're going to fall in love with them because they're over the top and they're extra and they have something to give. There's another person, Jay Prince. I think he's a party promoter or something, and he's like the Don Juan of Miami, so he has a whole bunch of stuff happening. I just think it's like giving everybody a chance to see them for who they are in their own element, opposed to me to have a career that's a musician that you already know, or a Trick that you already know. I mean, these other people, like a Bobbi is an aspiring artist that he's so over the top. This should be his 5th episode already because he's way too much. And then you'll have like an Amara, she's a beautiful Latina artist, and I'm just really getting into her and watching her do like performances and all the stuff that she does for the Latin world, and just giving back to these communities, these places that doesn't have. It's just, I'm looking like, whoa, who is this lady? Where she's been all this time? So to watch her on the show is totally different. I just think it's just about, the culture of Miami. It's more upscale. It's a beautiful place. People are a little bit more reserved. They're fly. They're in their own way, and just to watch, because I wish I could see it before you guys, so I could kind of but I haven't seen everybody scenes. I haven't seen everybody that's on the cast. The people that I do know, I was filming with. I know the stuff that we did was pretty interesting. So therefore, I think that would be the biggest thing.
A lot of stuff to look forward to this season, for sure. Thanks for the question, by the way. 2 more questions. Where's our next one going to come from?
Hey, Trina.
Hi.
What's the difference between acting and becoming a reality star?
I don't know. I didn't really too much acting. I did a little bit. I don't know. I think reality is is reality. It's what's happening right now in your life. If you're in the kitchen cooking and you make a mistake and you burn the food on the stove and they're filming that's real reality. It's no editing, it's no taking that out. We're gonna show that because that's live. Opposed to reality is basically off of scene. Whatever scene you're put in, whatever event you're doing, whatever they're filming, that's real life for you. It's not like someone giving you a script and you have to read the script and you have to rehearse it. This is just what you give out. They give you a scenario, they put you in a setting, whatever your setting is, you just have to go for what you know.
Totally.
Thank you.
All right, one more question before we go.
Hi, Trina.
Hi.
I actually found out about you through my ex-boyfriend in high school, so I know you've been in the game for like 2 decades. I remember like everybody would talk about you, and so you're this huge established star, but how do you feel, like you've mentioned Beyonce, and she's an extremely private person. When do you ever feel like you're gonna stop hustling as hard and kind of like take time for yourself because you still work so hard? It's your 6th album. Like, does it ever gonna slow down for you?
Yeah, you know what? I think of it all the time. Like, I'm like the most busy people, like my celebrity friends tell me, you're the hardest working woman in show business. I have had time to like take off. When I take off, people don't even know it because you sometimes see me and you think I'm still working. Between every album, I take off 2 years. My albums came out 2000, 2002, 2004. The last album came out 2000 and I think 5 or 6 or whatever. So now here's 2000 and fast forward, so this will be my 6th album. So in between that, the time from traveling, performing, sitting back, sitting with my family, those are the times I sit down. When I sit down and sit still for too long, I get so bored and so like ready to like do something. It starts driving me crazy. I'm so used to always being active. The one thing I do say that I would say that was the only thing that was like a downfall to me was that I would say is being in this business for so many years and doing what I do for so many years. The one thing I would feel like if I would go back, it would be to like take off time more for a family, for my life, to be married, to have a kid, opposed to like throwing my whole life into my career. I did that because this is me. I don't have a kid. I wasn't married. This is my own life. I'm independent. I take care of myself. I'm not gonna settle for nobody's foolishness. I'm not gonna play second to nobody's foolishness. I'm not gonna depend on nobody. So with that being said, that's the reason why I keep moving. In a relationship for 5 years, about to get married, have a kid, have a miscarriage, all of that. It could be a downfall, a depression, or it could be a stepping stone. You get up and do what you gotta do. That's what I chose. So when I have a new situation, a love, a husband, all that, there will be Trina sitting down with a kid, a family, cooking. I cook every day almost anyway for my friends. So it'll be no different from that. It'll just be one of those kind of things. But being active is what keeps me alive, keeps me fresh, keeps me motivated. I travel the world. I get to meet different beautiful women, different people that tell me so much stuff. And it reflects to my life, like starting this business 17 years ago to where I've grown at to right now. You know, I look at all of it, the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, the time I'm screaming when to give up, the time I'm like, no, I'm pushing harder. All of it is just like a blessing, you know? And I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. Thank you.
Awesome. Trina, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, Love and Hip Hop Miami premieres January 1st on VH1, and the album, most importantly, February 23rd, the one available everywhere. Trina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
There.
Thanks, guys.